I've been getting a lot of questions, the same kind of questions recently, about breathwork, tongue placement and midlife feeling disconnected from yourself. So I thought I'd just sit down and answer them properly and honestly. I keep hearing you talk about your tongue placement, Maxine. Are we overcomplicating things now? Well, no, we've actually been missing the basics. Your tongue has a natural resting position on the roof of your mouth. Most of us, including myself, have lost that. So when that happens, we get tension in the jaw, shallow breathing, and even disrupted sleep. So this isn't about adding something new. It's going back to how your body was designed to function. And I'm going to be dropping the tongue placement protocol on YouTube within the next couple of weeks. So look out for that. Your tongue should be placed at the roof of your mouth, slightly behind your teeth so that it's not resting on your teeth. When you do that, the whole of your tongue, including the back of your tongue, needs to be up against the roof of your mouth. Yep. And then when you've done that, you take a swallow. And what that does is it actually adheres your tongue to the roof of your mouth. That takes some practice. And that is the protocol that I'm going to be dropping for you so that you can learn how to place your tongue, so that all of that tension and all of that jaw pain and all of that disrupted sleep will just fade away. Okay? And also, with any luck, there's double chin. This 4-7-8 breathing, Maxine, is it actually doing anything? Well, yes, it is, because your body responds to what you do, not what you think. When your body is in stress mode, you breathe shallowly at the top here in your lungs rather than deep down. So you're constantly breathing, high in your chest. This actually alerts the body to think that it's not safe, and it increases your fight or flight. When you slow your breath down, when you take a deep, what they call GABA breathing, 4-7-8 breathing, it actually helps your body to reduce the stress. When you slow down your exhale, your nervous system settles. Your body starts to come out of that stress mode. And most women, let's face it, are living in constant low-level stress response anyway and calling it normal. It isn't normal, but it is common. Next question. I've read so many self-help books, Maxine. What makes Beyond the Mirror any different? Well, because it's not trying to hype you up. It's asking you to look at where you've abandoned yourself and why. And midlife isn't the issue. It's what you've carried into midlife. So that book is about resetting that, not just thinking differently about it. And the mirror within, is that just more self-love? Well, no. And if I'm honest, a lot of self-help, in fact, most self-help messaging misses the point anyway. The mirror within is about understanding how your internal state shows up externally. Your face, your skin, your posture, your energy, they're all reflecting something. So instead of fixing the surface, we like to start working with what's underneath it, and that is where the real power is. I feel I don't recognise myself anymore. Is that normal in midlife, Maxine? Normal, no. Common, yes. But that doesn't mean it's something you just have to accept. You've spent years, decades even, being what everybody else needed you to be, doing everything else that everybody expected you to do, and thinking that that's what you should be doing. I've done it. We've all done it. But of course you're going to feel disconnected, because that's not how we're supposed to live. So the work now isn't about becoming someone new. It's about finding that person that you were, connecting back with that person, and from that platform, then you can change your direction. You can move in whatever way you feel like. You need to find where you really are, where you start, and from then you can pivot. What about neurodivergent women in midlife, Maxine? Everything is just feeling louder. Well, that's because it is. You see, your tolerance changes. Your awareness is sharpening. And what you're used to pushing through, you just can't anymore. And I know that because I am a neurodivergent woman in midlife, and I feel exactly the same way. So this is not you falling, and it's not you failing. It's your system saying, this way of life is not working for me anymore. You don't need more pressure. I don't need more pressure. We just need a different way of working with our energy. Why do I still fall back into old habits when I know better? Let's just pause here, because I want to read that again. Why do I still fall back into old habits when I know better? Because knowing something doesn't mean your body feels safe enough to change. If your system is still wired for stress or survival, it is always going to pull you back to what's familiar. That is why I focus on breath, posture, alignment, because that's where the actual power of behavior changes long term. Can these small things really change how I look, Maxine? Yes, but not in the way most people expect. You're not forcing a change, you're removing tension. That's the point. So when tension drops, everything is going to soften. Your face, your eyes, your whole presence will just soften. It's very subtle, but it is very powerful. Maxine, I feel overwhelmed with all of this. Where do I even start? You simplify. Pick one thing, not 5, not 10, one thing, just one. Maybe it's your breath. Maybe it's how you're holding your body. Do that consistently and let your body catch up. Your breath is a really good place to start. The GABA breathing that I mentioned earlier, 4, 7, 8. Breathe in through your nose for the count of 4. Hold for the count of 7. Then breathe out through your mouth for the count of 8. That's the long exhale that's important. That is what puts your body into relaxation mode. If I did nothing else, what would actually make a difference? Slow your breath down. Honestly, start there. Because when your body feels safe, everything changes. It changes how you think, how you respond, how you show up. And that is real change. That is where the change begins. So if this is landing for you, and I really hope that it is, you'll already know where you're going to start. And if you want to go deeper, that's exactly why I wrote Beyond the Mirror. And that's exactly why the mirror within is coming next. So grab yourself a copy of Beyond the Mirror. You'll find it on Amazon, you'll find it on Barnes & Noble, you'll find it on Gumroad. And if you want the Audible version, you can get it on iTunes or Amazon Audible. And then look out for the mirror within coming at the end of the March. End of the March? End of the month. Thank you for being with me today. I really appreciate it. And take care, and I'll see you in April.